Hello. How are you? Okay. Go ahead and just take a seat. Make yourself comfortable. So, just reading through your notes, and you're looking for a little advice on a trip to Croatia. Fantastic. It's a beautiful country. You'll love it. It's, just joined the EU, so it's, it's kind of, it's just beautiful. I think you'll enjoy it. But did you have, you did a little bit of research before. Did you have any particular areas that you really wanted to go to? So you saw Split, okay, Dubrovnik, and okay. So you're looking at, it's a relatively, small country in comparison to others. But if we look here, you're looking at, kind of all in different points. So from, Dubrovnik to Split, that's about a 3-hour drive. Split to Zagreb, 3 to 4 hours. But you can do it. How much time are you wanting to spend there? So you've got 14 days. Okay, yeah, so that's plenty of time to go. What I would recommend is flying into one city and then flying out of the other. That way you're not spending a ton of time, driving back and forth. However, the drives are absolutely gorgeous. I would recommend it because Croatia has, so you can see all of this wonderful coastline here, and it's just, amazing to see. Do you know, when you want to go? Okay, late May. That's a really great time to go. Past some of, the tourist season, but it's still going to be nice out. Yeah. Alright, so let's just kind of go through some of this. So you definitely want Dubrovnik. So I'm going to go through some of the things that you can do there. So when you're in Dubrovnik, it's a very old medieval town. Okay, so it's unique. You don't need a ton of time there. I would say, 1 to 2 days. Maximum 2 nights. You can stay longer if you're going to do day trips, but, the city itself is small and you can see a lot in a few days. But you've got to walk the Dubrovnik walls. It's really cool. Okay. And was there anything that you saw? The cable cars. Okay, yeah. So that could be, a half-day trip too. There's also kayaking tours. If the weather's nice enough, you can go around the walls. And it's really, really beautiful. They also have a lot of wine there. The white wine's very good in Croatia, so I recommend that too. So, I'm just writing down any ideas. There's also a really neat area that I'm going to tell you about. So if you're in Dubrovnik, you're going to want to go through, and there's a little hidden area I'm going to show you on a map of Dubrovnik. But it's got this, it's kind of secret area, but it has spectacular views. I've never seen anything like it. You could even just spend, and have a picnic there. It's very, very beautiful. Okay. So, there's many hotels in the area, but hard to find. I'll send you home some recommendations based on your budget, and then kind of the location. But I'm only going to give you ones where, you said you wanted to stay in Old Town, so I'm only going to give you locations that are in Old Town. Okay, and then you said you'd like to do Split. So, how are you planning on getting when you do go to Split, you actually do pass through Bosnia and Herzegovina. So you're going to go through a little port there. So you'll go through there. You just have to show your passports. It kind of alarms some people, so you just have to show your passports. And then oftentimes the car rental, tell them, because they will give you a pass as well, just in case. They weren't too strict when I was there. So Split, you're going to get there by car. On the way there, just stop at some random towns. Maybe get lunch or something, just to see, you don't have to have a plan. I think those are kind of the fun days. But as you're driving up there, I would drive up there in the morning. Okay, so I'm just jotting down our notes. Okay. And are you okay with the 2 nights in Dubrovnik? Okay. If you want to do more, just tell me. But I'll book everything for you. Okay, so stop in a random town as you're driving. We're going to need the car rental in Dubrovnik. Would you want to get the car at the airport or in the town? Town, okay, yeah. I would recommend that. And then take like a taxi to the town. Easily able to find them. Okay, so Split. Split is a bigger city. It's got a university there. It's the second largest city in Croatia. And it's got one of the oldest settlements there. So there's an ancient palace inside the actual old town. It's really beautiful. So yeah, you won't miss it. But definitely going to want to see that. And you could do a tour if you'd like to. So I would really recommend visiting Croatia. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong, I forgot how to say Croatia. Since you're going to have a car, take a day trip there. It's beautiful. And then, let's see. So, outside of Split, there are islands. I really recommend doing a boat tour. Would you like to do that? I will take you to Var, and Brock is another beautiful one. Brock is known for, their beautiful beaches. And, it's just beautiful there. I would spend, a day and a half there too. The Kayaking National Park. As you can see, it's beautiful. You should take a day trip there for sure. And then on the way back, you could stop in Croatia and just see some of the other towns. It's gorgeous. Oh, Croatia and Šibnik was the other one. Šibnik. Just see the city. It's got a fortress at the top as well, and then it's very close to the Kirka waterfalls as well. It's not a bad drive from Split, so you can do. Split is kind of a nice location to stay in for a longer amount of time because there's so much to see around there. Okay. Alright. Okay, let's see if there's anything else in here that I could recommend. And if you have ideas, please tell me. I know that you have been researching this too. So you saw the boat tour, yeah. Another thing, if you wanted to stay in Navarre, you just take a ferry over there, and it's really neat. It's more of a party island, but it's still a very beautiful island if you're interested in that. One thing that I would recommend is the Jeep Safari. You can go and ride because of the ATV tours as well. Okay, so you want to stay a night in Hvar. Okay. And you've got to see the fort. It's got a beautiful view. You go all the way up. It's a little bit of a hike, but once you get up there, it's worth it. They've got the beaches. So you want to see a split here. It's a really quick ferry. Let's see. Here's Hvar and Brock. It's a really quick ferry. So you're going to go to Split to Hvar. Then you could even take a ferry to Brock. So it's not, it's really not bad. Right? It's all close. So if you wanted to, you could stay a night in Hvar. You could also stay a night in Brock. Whatever you prefer. And then you're interested in Zagreb. Okay, so I have never been to Zagreb, but I think it's more of the city feel there. And I'm sure you can't go wrong. Let me see what I've got here in my notes about Zagreb. It's the largest city in Croatia, so you can't go wrong. I'm sure there's plenty to do, but I'm going to see the top recommended things to do there for you. Days were you thinking to stay in Zagreb? 3 nights, okay. And so we can do this either way. You can fly into Zagreb, drive down to Split, and then drive to Dubrovnik, or you can fly into Dubrovnik and fly out of Zagreb. So you can switch that up, whatever you prefer, and I'll actually just look. It doesn't really matter. I'll look at the flight prices and whatever's cheaper for you. I'll just book that. Okay, so it's a bigger city. There's many tours there. I think, the architecture is nice to see. It's older. Okay. There's a lot of cathedrals there, so if you're just seeing those, pretty neat. Alright, so the next thing I wanted to talk about with you is the food, what I recommend. So, Croatian food is, the result of the country's unique historical development. So, the regional influences on the food varies from region to region. So you're going to have different food on the Croatian islands compared to, Dubrovnik. So it's going to change. It's really influenced by Italian and Mediterranean cuisine. So there's a lot of seafood. And then, you've got potatoes and things like that as well. So, pashtigada, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, it's a traditional Dalmatian meat dish. It's usually served with a side of homemade gnocchi or pasta. And it's got, slow beef dish cooked with prunes, nutmeg, bacon, and wine. And it cooks for 6 hours. So it's a really rich taste. Definitely try it. And then you've got roasted lamb. It's popular. Rojata. It's a delicious custard dessert. So you're going to try that as well. But I would just recommend a food tour. I think you'll get more out of that. Maybe in Zagreb you could do that too. Okay. Alright, so that's, all that I have for you. If you would like to, look over this, add anything else, I'm going to send this home with you. And then I've got a list of recommended hotels that I would stay at with their locations that you recommended or that you prefer. So, and it gives you the budget too. So we've got, budget, high-end, luxury, all of the things, so you can decide. Okay, so I'm going to send this home with you. And I was able to help you. Next week we'll kind of get into, the logistics of everything and start, booking flights, hotels, and then I'll be making your day-to-day itinerary. Okay? Alright, well, thank you for coming in. It's a pleasure to work with you today.